Hey there, what's happening everybody? Thanks for joining us today on Cinema Recap. So, we're going to check out a 2012 comedy called Afro Tanaka. Spoilers ahead. We meet Hiroshi Tanaka, a young man with unique hair. And what does being unique mean as a child? Endless bullying, that's what. So, Hiroshi took matters into his own hands and decided to go Afro. Hiroshi says he made bad life choices after that. Quit or go to college and work? Well, we'll see what happens next. I'd say Mom's not too happy. I can see where he got the curly hair from though. Now Mama Tanaka's gonna hit him with the "you have to pay rent now, you lazy bum" parenting tactic. Hiroshi didn't like that idea, so he bought himself a tiny apartment to drop in his parents' backyard. The impressive loophole seems smart at the moment, but we'll see how long it's gonna last. What's better than having your own space? Dancing in your undies in your own space. Until your mom sees you, of course. Our Afro rockin' main character still has bigger plans for more freedom, so he moved to Tokyo, found a manual labor job. Yeah, big plans. Hiroshi wasn't satisfied with his job. In order to quell that self-disappointed void in his heart, he just fills it with liquor. Hiroshi goes home after sobering up and looks through his mail. There's an invitation to a wedding, but he doesn't seem too happy about it. Commence flashback. We find Tanaka at school again, his friends and him discussing girls on a rooftop. Tanaka's friends are teasing him about how he won't ever get a girlfriend. But he quickly points out that none of them have girlfriends either, and calls them out for being virgins. How hypocritical. Their solution to this is to invite each other to their future weddings to show off their girlfriends later and prove that they're not the last virgin of the group. It's certainly not the only group of guys who made a pact about losing their virginity. After drawing himself a timeline to enact his girlfriend plan, he realizes that he's already way behind. Yeah, better get a move on, Hiroshi. Suddenly he gets a knock on the door. A pretty young woman introduces herself as Kato, Tanaka's new neighbor. Try not to scare the poor thing away. Tanaka contemplates being honest with his friends while pretending that they're on a train with him, but realizes that he fell short of what he thinks they expect from him. Says every person who has no idea what they want to do in their life. Tanaka, come on. You have the hair. You have the face. Look at that sense of humor. You can do it. You should probably stop staring. He looks like he could beat you up. Faking being asleep is the new way out of things. This time his friends are really there in person to surprise Tanaka. And of course this means drinks all around. We find out that none of them managed to get jobs they fantasized about as students, but they all did something for a living. Tanaka begins to wonder if his friends remember their old girlfriend pact from high school. It's starting to seem like they might have, until his friend who's getting married brings it up again. He remembers. Panic ensues as he realizes that he's actually the only one without a girlfriend. His friends continue to joke about how uncool it would be to be the only one who didn't have a girlfriend, assuming that Tanaka must have one. On his way home, Tanaka's spirits are lifted slightly as he sees the girl from the train making out with a different guy. Apparently, Tanaka has some hope, as we find his neighbor Kato telling her co-workers about how she likes a guy. Could it be? Yes! Do you think the fuzzy-headed dog reminds her of him? Tanaka zones out, only thinking about finding a girlfriend. He overhears some co-workers talking about a party and gets himself invited. Unfortunately, our main character has no idea how to impress girls. Tanaka has no idea what fashion is, but takes some advice from a guy at a store who had some, interesting style choices for him, finally landing on one that he found fitting. What a weird old lady vibe of an outfit, but alright. So with his new sense of fashion, Tanaka has no fears at a barbecue social. His plan to zero in on a pretty young woman was completely screwed. His friend saying that his fashion sense would fit with the less attractive girl at the party, who immediately rejects him. Ouch. Tanaka may be sad, but at least he still thinks about stray cats, not to mention the brownie points he wins with his cute neighbor. Here's his chance, and he completely blows it. He just keeps pushing away the one that he thinks is cute. I'm doubting Tanaka's intelligence now. He asks a friend of his for some pro tips on how to be cool or popular at a party with girls, telling him to just be himself. That's a good friend. Too bad for Tanaka, he has no idea what he means by that. Hiroshi's at his dating party. And who better to ask for advice on females than another woman? She's pretty cute. Surprised he's not getting a nosebleed talking to her. According to her, he should get a girl's email like it's 1998. Tanaka's back to wearing his green sweatsuit. Hey, what happened to the grandma clothes? He doesn't know what to text the girl from the party. But he figures out it's because he's actually not being himself. Nope, still can't text her. Maybe just forget the text for now, man. No matter how many magazines he reads or advice he takes, he still can't do it. Suddenly, Tanaka gets a concerning phone call from his friend, Osawa. He runs to his house and finds him on the roof, preparing to jump. Only all his high school buddies are there too, having a picnic while their friend is in emotional distress. Turns out that Osawa was upset because he realized his girlfriend was in some lewd videos online, to put it nicely. Tanaka and his friends come to Osawa's rescue. In a desperate attempt to get her back, they chase her down and give her some more sound advice. Somehow, through the miracle of Tanaka, they all see the value of a girlfriend. Speaking of girlfriends, the rest of them show up, minus Tanaka's, because she doesn't exist. That's when he realizes that one of his friend's girlfriends is the same chick from the train and his walk home the other day. Now she's with a different guy. Should he say something? On his way home, he gets a text from Yumi, the girl from the dating party who's the pro-expert advice giver. She asks him if they can meet up, and to Tanaka's surprise, he finds her drunk, waiting for him to take her home. Tanaka finds Yumi a place to stay for the night and can't help but fight the urge to be a creep while she's sleeping. No, Tanaka, no. Don't touch a sleeping drunk woman. In an attempt to be sweet and less creepy, he covers her with a blanket. Unfortunately, she thinks otherwise, calls him a virgin, and makes him feel like a predator. Clearly, Tanaka doesn't take that well. Everyone's laughing at him, his virgin card out there for everyone to see. Who's this lady? Hopefully not his prospective girlfriend. Phew. She took him fishing for some reason. In a bizarre epiphany, while writing his overly honest speech for his friend's wedding, he overhears his neighbor having a fight with a cockroach. Thankfully, valiantly, he slayed it with his extra bug bomb. Only now she needs a place to stay while that smoke clears. She seems nervous. Tanaka tells her that he's writing a speech for his friend's wedding, and she fixes it for him. Tanaka doesn't understand why she's so nice to him. He sees his coworkers walking towards him. He skipped work to go fishing with the old lady. Kato says that he must apologize, and he approaches the men in the restaurant, tells them that he was absent without notice, probably expecting to be fired, but instead his honesty seemed to save his job somehow. He and Kato enjoy a drink on the beach afterwards, and there was almost a moment where he could have made a move, but instead he pulled the typical Tanaka and chickened out. Even Kato was disappointed, but she seems to recognize that he's a good guy. However, Tanaka berates himself verbally and throws himself into a pile of garbage for being a chicken and also for catching feelings. His friends called him to see if they can get together during Christmas weekend. Man, I just realized how short his doorways were. Is it the hair or is he just tall? Tanaka was disappointed to find out that his friends aren't really coming over for Christmas. Thankfully, he wouldn't spend Christmas alone as Kato paid him a visit. They go out, grab some food, and he finally realizes something. His friends are in Tokyo, trying to surprise him and film his reaction. They still think that he doesn't have a girlfriend, which he technically doesn't, but something tells me that they're going to be surprised. Kato suggests going home and drinking, and Tanaka realizes it might be his chance. His facial expressions are epic. His high school friends make their way to his apartment and realize that maybe flaking out on Tanaka could have pushed him over the edge of loneliness. And like good friends they are, they climb through the window to make sure he's okay. Oh, that's right, guys. Tanaka's got a girl. Somehow he completely misses the 4 pairs of shoes on his floor and friends in his closet. In a super uncomfortable attempt to break the silence, he turns on some slow jams, gives Kato a beer. Tanaka entertains us with more yelling at himself and hilarious faces. Too bad he says the wrong thing. From there, everything just goes downhill, starting with his friends. Kato gets the wrong idea. His friends also found his poster, outlining he would find a girlfriend for the wedding. Now everyone knows he still holds a V card. Tanaka takes this poorly and tells his friends to leave. Tanaka goes back to work, continuing to ignore his friends. But thankfully, he still holds up his promise to go to that wedding. Where are their girlfriends, I wonder? Why are weddings so incredibly lame sometimes? I'll have to agree with Tanaka, that was embarrassing. Well, maybe not nearly as embarrassing as that video. What in the world is going on? Apparently our main character is going to drink himself silly. Oh no, he still has to give the speech. Our man can barely walk or stand. Can't believe anyone would put him up there. They continue to allow him to embarrass himself and his friends. What a shame. His tune changed for a moment as he reminisced on their high school years. Somehow, even in his drunken stupor, Tanaka seems to be making sense and almost seems sentimental. His awkward speech concluded with Kato's line about married people not needing hope but really needing patience. It was actually kind of sweet. His friends laughed and Tanaka felt at home again. He finds out that they've all been single, except for the one obviously. They say that they want to help Tanaka get a girlfriend, or maybe just land Kato. Tanaka calls Kato, invites her to a theme park and a date. His friends continue to tell him their advice. Lastly, he must confess his love for her. Well, that last part might not be the play, but we'll see what happens. Kato decides to divulge her own info about living with her ex until 6 months ago when he cheated on her. She's feeling sad, and Tanaka isn't sure what to do. Yeah, soap opera guy would probably say that, but he also gets the girl Tanaka. OMG, he finally asked. Now what kind of Tanaka-fueled awkward event is about to take place? Kato says that she likes him, but still might have feelings for her ex. Even if it's the end, Tanaka needs to do just one thing. Is it a kiss? Will he try to make a move? No, he's gonna earn himself a kick in the face. That was unexpected. Yeah, I'd say the best thing to do now is to go hang out with your friends. They can all talk about how girls are terrible together. And that was it for our friend Hiroshi. Wrapping up our funny and awkward Japanese film, Afro Tanaka, about a guy who just wanted to find a girlfriend. This quirky thing was produced by Dub, HappyNet, and Nippon Shippan Hanbai in 2012. And when we find actors like Shota Matsuda and Nozomi Sasaki in the film, you know you're gonna laugh. So let me ask you something. If he went to ask Kato sooner, you think she would have said yes? Why don't you drop your 2 cents in the comment section below with the hashtag Cinema Recap. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, till next time.